Well, what is going on, guys? Luke here today, and it's time to talk about Tesla's earnings call later this week. Delivery numbers were yet another record, but of course didn't meet Wall Street's expectations, and the stock has just tanked since then. And with the market making new lows and inflation not really going anywhere, and with the US being in a recession, even if the government doesn't really admit to it yet, and with Tesla stock down around 50% from the highs, and with many Tesla bulls predicting it has another 40% or more to fall before finally bottoming out, and with Elon not staying off the Twitter machine that is causing enough headaches without him tweeting things and making it worse, will this earnings call be enough to pull Tesla out of the tailspin, or is Tesla doomed to make the new Tesla bears right and we see the low 100 soon? So I will address all of this today and how I think Tesla's earnings will play out, and tell you what I'm doing personally since I made some big moves this past week, and I'll tell you what my price target is now since many of you bashed me the last time I gave one. So let's see if I'm spot on or if I'm a dumb bear like some claimed I was last time. I just ask in exchange for you to gently tap that like button and consider subscribing too. It's super easy to do if you like the truth without the hype. So Tesla had record deliveries once again, but it was still a miss according to Wall Street. And I know it just sounds stupid when you say it out loud, but the bar is very high for delivery numbers for Tesla. And with Tesla not meeting expectations for deliveries, this earnings call is far from certain. Now, I agree the delivery number is still incredible given all the supply chain issues and the never-ending chip shortages and the multiple challenges that are affecting the entire auto industry. But Wall Street doesn't care about any of that. Fair or not, Tesla missed their delivery estimates, and now all eyes are turned to the earnings call where a miss there could be devastating to the stock. But whoa, slow down, slow down. I don't see that happening at all, as I think they easily beat the numbers. But there is a catch, as they did not deliver as many vehicles as analysts were expecting, and that makes that revenue number harder to hit. Now, we do have two new factories that are open and producing as opposed to being a complete cash drain like they've been on past earnings call. But unfortunately, we are still not going to see the impact on the bottom line for another quarter at least. It will take some time for those two factories to contribute significantly to the bottom line, but on the flip side, you have Giga Shanghai just crushing it at every stage. There's really no other way to put it. I mean, that factory is doing all the heavy lifting and it's just really incredible. So I still think they will turn a profit easily. There's no doubt in my mind there. And Tesla is honestly doing incredible, undeniable things that is just leaving everybody else in the dust, despite the fact that basically the US government seems to be trying to help everyone else except for Tesla. But, you know, I don't want to get into all that drama here, but it illustrates how well they're doing compared to everyone else. Tesla doesn't need the help at all, is the bottom line. So even if the numbers don't meet expectations, which the consequences will be harsh in the short term, as a long-term investor, I'm not concerned at all, and I understand why. By that, I mean I understand the why behind them actually not meeting those expectations this time around. But there are two big concerns that I have coming into this earnings call that are going to impact this earnings call and the share price more importantly. But before we get to those, I just wanted to mention that the sale is actually ending tomorrow if you want to see all of my Tesla buys in real time, and we'll talk about those here in just a second, my complete watch list and price targets for all the stocks that I'm buying, which was a ton last week. Plus you get 5 free courses. You can ask me anything on the live Q&As that we do at least weekly, and a ton more. So make sure you check out the pinned comment and get your membership now as that offer expires tomorrow. All right, so back on topic here. The first big concern is that the market is just in serious jeopardy right now. The market is currently trending down, and with inflation seemingly being as stubborn as my ex-girlfriend, we are basically one Fed announcement, one unexpected geopolitical event, one Fed misstep from taking another leg down, and despite what all the Tesla bulls will tell you, Tesla will give ground just like everyone else will, even lower. I know we like to believe that Tesla is immune to all this, but they are not, unfortunately. I wish that was true, but it's just not, guys. Sorry, I know that doesn't align with everyone's take out there, but it's the reality, and that is why you guys come here for information. Not just to be told Tesla should be at $1,000 today, and don't worry, it will be there shortly after this incredible earnings call. That kind of stuff does not help you as an investor make sound and informed decisions on your Tesla stock. And the second is once again the drama surrounding Elon that never seems to end this year. It just goes on and on and on and on. In regards to this earnings call, Elon is always a bit of a wild card that sometimes hurts more than helps Tesla, as he kind of speaks off the cuff and can honestly be combative at times as well. I mean, it's honestly why we love him and why he drives Tesla to new heights. However, it's also sometimes kind of hurts the share price in the short term. Earnings calls are where you talk about last quarter's performance and then project out what you think is going to happen in future quarters and through the end of the year, and maybe they'll find a little section about some big future things coming like TSLAbot and a brief tease on that, and you just kind of move on from it. But you really talk about what's going on this quarter and what you think is going on in future quarters through the end of the year. But that's not Elon style at all, and it's just kind of random, wild, and he may spend half the time discussing something years into the future. An event like AI Day or even an interview after the earnings is the place to do stuff like that. Watch an Apple's earnings call to see how to run an A+ call and then kind of see the stark difference between the two. And then we have the Elon Twitter drama. And thankfully, since much of it will be legal, he will probably defer questions about it. But this is the exact opposite thing big money wants to see the CEO being involved with at all. Many already view him as distracted, and that is why they don't invest in Tesla in the first place. So you can be sure this is weighing on people's minds during their earnings call. But the on again, off again, on again romance with Twitter has really weighed on investors. I mean, does he need to sell more to buy it? Since it's part kind of a bigger plan that he kind of has to take over the world, will it take away from his focus on Tesla? Will the investigation around all this be yet another distraction that Elon has to attend to that once again takes away from Tesla? Those are all questions that those big investors are asking. And if you don't think some on Wall Street won't draw the conclusion that Tesla missing delivery estimates is a direct result of him not being focused, you do not understand how they work, my friend. Now don't yell at me, I think it's complete garbage and stupid too, but that won't stop others from thinking that and doing that. And I know I just said that twice, just roll with me, guys. And finally, we have Elon getting into it on Twitter with the Ukraine and the US government and making statements that seem to anger world leaders across the entire world. Again, this has no real material bearing on Tesla stock whatsoever in my opinion, but it's another thing that Wall Street and especially big money hates to see a CEO wade into. It's unnecessary and will be just another turnoff or a I told you so for those that don't like Tesla or Elon in the first place. Now again, I'm not saying it's fair or that it should have any bearing on Tesla stock. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying is fair or not, if that happens, it will have a short-term impact on the stock price. There's a reason why Tesla is the most volatile trillion-dollar company that has ever existed by a mile. I mean, even companies valued at 20% of what Tesla is valued at are not usually this volatile. Bottom line, if guidance is lowered, which I don't think will happen, but if that happens, or if the numbers don't meet expectations, or if Elon says something that can be viewed as negative, the stock will most likely get pounded once again. That is just the reality of the market we are in right now and the situation with Elon. So what am I doing personally, and at what price am I looking to buy Tesla stock? This is where having your plan set before the earnings call is key. And I know many of you guys hate that I say it, but planning and having a price target is key to investing, especially with Tesla stock because it's such a unique stock. But you absolutely can take advantage of this uncertainty if you play the long game and stay away from all the short-term speculation. So my price target last time was at $203.69. And I'd say Tesla hitting 204 and some change is pretty darn close. And yes, I happily bought it $204.69, as did the entire group it seemed as well. I mean, it was like Christmas on Friday as the buy alerts just blew up towards the end of the day on Friday for Tesla and honestly for a lot of stocks. It was my first buy on Tesla since May for context there. But many of you guys crushed me when I put out that price target and were calling me a bear for having a $203 price target, or just said I don't understand Tesla stock at all, or a bunch of other stuff like that. I mean, I got it, guys. Tesla was sitting close to around $300 at the time and all the bulls were saying it was going to the moon, but that doesn't mean that there were not headwinds and issues, and many of the catalysts being quoted back to me as to why I was wrong are not catalysts for a stock at all. If it doesn't bring in revenue in the next quarter or two, big revenue isn't paying for it. And that's not me being a bear, that's me just telling you the reality of the situation. I'm sorry, it's a mega cap stock now, and 10x moves after Elon successfully flushes the toilet is long gone from this stock. I'm sorry. It needs to be revenue generating, and as far as I know, you don't get to generate revenue by flushing the toilet. But on the flip side of all this, a lot of people think suddenly the price goes down and Tesla isn't performing as a business or a company, and it's a terrible buy like some of the media are saying now. That is just as dumb as thinking a toilet flush should move a stock up, but that stupidity is to our advantage as retail investors. And it's an advantage to us because we get shares on the cheap and can add at prices we honestly shouldn't be able to add at. So I am simply sitting back and watching the numbers from this earnings call and then watching what Wall Street does to see if they give me some more juicy discounts. I have more cash ready to deploy and I don't care about the price action nearly as much as I care about how the business is performing, and will happily deploy more cash at $203. And if Wall Street wants to get even dumber, I will happily buy under $200 all day long. So basically just hold and look at your price targets when short-term issues arise, like an earnings call is great, but the stock sells off anyways. That is the perfect time I like to add. So hopefully this was helpful. And if you don't know how to get a price target or how to do evaluation and want a step-by-step process for doing that, building wealth, and you want direct access to me and much more, remember to check out the pinned comment down below to become a member and at least look at everything you get. And click this video here for the stocks I'm still buying in this market, and click here for exactly what I'm doing to make huge money in this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.